Everyone relax, this is TOFOP, but not really. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.
And we wanted to bring you a new episode this week, but Will's in Montreal, I'm in Byron Bay, and the time zones do not match. But we wanted to say a few things because very exciting news is TOFOP has joined Planet Broadcasting.
Now, what is Planet Broadcasting? Because it sounds like when you say TOFOP has joined Planet Broadcasting, that sounds very impressive. But what does it actually mean, Charlie?
It's a cult like Scientology. We all believe that we're controlled by a higher power from another planet, a planet of podcasts. No. Planet Broadcasting is an exciting new podcast network started by Claire Tonti, Nick Mason, and James. What's James's surname? The goat guy from the Weekly Planet. I don't know what his surname is.
Mr. Sunday. He's got a nom de plume.
Oh, Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yeah, he's got a nom de plume.
Yeah, that's right. He goes under a pseudonym.
Yeah, exactly. You're not allowed to reveal his real name. It's like it's a mystery, mate. It's behind the scenes. He's like Prince.
It's a new Australian podcast network that started a few months ago. The Weekly Planet is an Australian podcast. It's about movies, TV shows, comic books, and it's been around for a few years now. I've been a huge fan of this show. I've been listening to it for a few years, and they started this in Melbourne, just two guys basically talking about comic books, but they have built this huge audience. In fact, when we started talking to them about the potential of joining Planet Broadcasting, I don't think you and I understood just how big this show was.
I mean, it really made us feel very unsuccessful. That's what I would say.
Very unsuccessful.
I was like, we've been doing this for 7 years, and we really do not have anywhere near the audience that you guys have. But the thing that we love about them, you might have noticed, particularly in the Australian landscape recently, that there's a lot of big companies that are launching their own podcast networks. A couple of the big radio stations are going very hard on launching their own podcast networks. The thing that we love about this is these are people who have built it from the ground up. They've built their audience in the same way, hopefully, that we've built our audience by just trying to do something fun and for no other reason than just doing it because it's fun. But as we've been talking to you guys about over the years this has kind of got to the point now where between our two podcasts, TOFOP and Two Guys, One Cup, we're recording sort of 2 episodes most weeks, and then there's some other podcasts that we do as well. It's just got to the point where, we need to either stop doing it or make it a little bit more professional and maybe, make a little bit of money to pay for it and those sort of things. And so we've been looking around for various things, but these guys are the ones that we've enjoyed their show, but also the way that they go about their business and, kind of the attitude they have from their company and the way that they have a sort of a social responsibility attitude as well. They're just really good people, and so we're really excited to be involved.
Yeah, I feel like, because we talk to a lot of different people about, how to sort of expand on what we're doing. And what we like about Planet Broadcasting and the guys who work there is that they are genuine podcast fans. They knew our show, which was nice, and they knew what we did, but they are all podcast creators and podcast listeners. And so we kind of felt like this is a new world we're entering. And so a lot of the people that we were talking to maybe are coming from the traditional media world, whereas we sort of felt like we want to get on board with people who are looking to the future. And I just feel like Planet Broadcasting is the right place for us. And not only that, but I feel like spiritually there are a lot of similarities to this show. They do a show about movies and comic books and TV shows, and we do a show about time travel and Batman.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of crossover, it's fair to say. Charlie has been a massive fan for years and had been telling me all about it, but I have only recently, in the last, say, six to 8 months, really got across their stuff, and it's brilliant. Like, the show's really entertaining. They're both super funny and super interesting. Oh, and I should mention, they are both guests on the second most recent episode of TOFOP. So if you go to the TOFOP site, you can hear an episode with the boys from the Weekly Planet as well.
So what we thought we'd do this week, because we couldn't sort of be there to record a new TOFOP, is put together a clip show, because James and Mr. Sunday, sorry, I fucked that up. Mr. Sunday Movies and Nick Mason, Meso, and Mr. Sunday Movies, who's sometimes known as James, they mentioned us on the Weekly Planet this week, and they directed people to come check out the show. So we thought there may be some new listeners this week. So we thought we'd put together a clip show, some highlights from TOFOP this year. Mike Howell's going to put that together. So we actually we very rarely listen back to this show. We very rarely remember what we've spoken about. We're putting all our faith into our super producer in Portland, Oregon, Mike Howell, to put together something that you, new listeners and old listeners, may like.
And I don't think this intro has added any value.
No. In fact, if you've listened this far, then good on you. I promise it will get a lot better. Speaking of Mike Howell, we should mention that
yes.
we're doing live shows at the Opera House. For some reason, TOFOP has been asked to do a live show, 2 live shows, because the first one sold out at the Sydney Opera House, September 15 and 16, which is a Friday and Saturday night. And there are still tickets available for the second show. The first one is sold out. But if you would like to come see this sterling professionalism live, you can come to the Opera House on September 16th. It's a Saturday night. I think the show's around 9 p.m. And we would also like to bring Mike Howell, our super producer from Portland, Oregon, to Australia to do this. Now, it's an expensive trip. That time of the year, there's a lot of people going on holiday. So Mike Howell has actually put together a GoFundMe page, and he's asking for all teabaggers out there, if you would like him to come, a guy who has been instrumental in this show even existing to this stage, if you'd like Mike Howell to get to Australia and come see the show, his baby, live on stage, this top-notch audiovisual entertainment live on stage, you can go to this GoFundMe page, which is gofundme.com/TOFOP-Michael, which is Michal, as in Mike Howell.
Get Mike Howell over to the Sydney Opera House. I mean, come on. He has to listen to this nonsense. He has to patch it all together from different countries. He has to make our terrible show sound less terrible. Let's get him out to Australia to at least see us at the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah, I mean, he listens to us every week through his headphones. Not just this show, we do an AFL podcast as well. So think about this as some kind of rehab, some kind of rehabilitation for someone who's been a victim of this show for at least the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
We hope you enjoy this show. You can check out our website, tofop.com. For people who are new to the show, TOFOP stands for 30 Odd Foot of Pod, which is a piss take on Russell Crowe's band, 30 Odd Foot of Grunt. It was funny when we thought of it. It gets less funny each time we have to mention it, right, Will?
Oh, man, I'm not sure it was even that funny when we thought of it, but... but you know what? You know, we've never been great at marketing, Charlie. That's the one thing that we know about this show.
Yeah, we have a good way of losing money. So don't make Mike Howell part of the same scheme. Get Mike Howell to Australia. He needs money. You can go to gofundme.com/TOFOP-Michael, Michal, as in Mike Howell, as in he's half man, half computer. It'll make sense when you go to the GoFundMe page. And we hope you enjoy the clip show. Will that do?
Yeah.
Cool.
The following episode of TOFOP is rated MA. It may contain Batman references, time travel references, sexual references, lost trains of thought, and mild coarse language. TOFOP advises that the program is not suitable for anyone under the age of 15 or anyone who enjoys succinct, coherent conversation that might actually have a point. Minors must be accompanied by a parent, guardian, or priest. This is John Deek speaking.
As my date, my manager Dione came as my date, and they sat us in the theatre at the Opera House, and everyone's like really dressed up, and it's a really big deal. And like 2 rows in front of us, Kate Blanchett was there.
Ah,
Yeah,
a
like
real theatre person.
totally, like a proper person though, like a proper Hollywood star person, Kate Blanchett, and she's got this cute little like short-haired blonde haircut, and so it's all up the back,
little
and so
pixie haircut.
yeah, and I was like 2 rows behind her, so I was
lean forward. And
it was
smell.
essentially like I was smelling the back of her neck, like I could just lean in and nuzzle the back of her neck at any stage.
I love you.
I love you.
What was that?
leave the Hobbit and join me.
Her husband Andrew. Andrew, he's a hobbit.
Andrew Upton, he's a hobbit. He looks like a mad professor at all
What, is he
stages.
short?
He's a bit hobbity.
Is she taller than him?
Oh, I would say so, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, he's definitely a bit hobbity, and he's a bit mad professor. He's always got like that hair that just looks like he's,
He's just cracked time travel.
yeah, totally.
That's 1.21 gigawatts.
Is there any chance that you have just uncovered the mystery of how that relationship happens? Because she is way out of his league, like way out
And
of his
some would
league.
say she's ahead of her time as an actress. So maybe he went into the future and brought back this like Uber actress from the future and said, no, it wouldn't have been an Uber actress. He would have gone into the future and found a struggling actress and said, hey, look, I'm a time traveler. If you marry me, I'll word you up and I will take you to acting classes in my time machine for as long as it takes you to be the best actress in the world.
Yeah.
Then you come back to my
Groundhog
time.
Day style.
Yeah. Then you come back to my time, 2000 and when they get married, whatever.
Year
1997.
2000, so, yeah,
Year
whatever,
2000,
yeah.
and you'll become the greatest actress of all time. But you have to stay with me. And if you leave me, Kate, I'm blowing the lid right off this thing.
I'm the only one who has the time machine. I can take you back there at any stage.
You want to go back to waiting tables at Zork's Laser Cafeteria?
Quite often when Kate Blanchett is making like an Oscar award-winning speech and that sort of thing, you can tell by the way she blinks in Morse code, she's like, help me, save me.
No, it shouldn't be help me. It should be fun. I mean, if you were an actress from the future, wouldn't you prefer to be in a time where you are like widely acknowledged as, the greatest of your generation, the new Meryl Streep?
Okay, so
If someone came to you,
someone's comes to you right now,
Yeah.
right? You're an actor.
yeah, an ugly female time traveling, or guy, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. No, well, let's say that's a woman. Let's
Yeah.
reverse the situation.
Yeah.
So like some ugly.
What does she look like? Like, what? Give me an actress. Like the mum from Throw Mama from the Train.
No, she's not that bad. Kathy Bates.
Okay.
Kathy Bates.
Not that bad.
Kathy Bates is
Your
alright.
standards are low, man. Okay. Love her in Misery, but I wouldn't say she's like a pin-up model.
No, but I think the equivalent of like Kate Blanchett to Andrew Upton is you to Kathy Bates. I think that's.
It's like one of those, when you apply for like ASIO or whatever, you go do like a logic test, and it's like Kate Blanchett and Andrew Upton are to Charlie. R2.
Yeah. R2.
Charlie Clausen and question mark.
Yeah. But they're the equivalent of Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee
Yeah,
Finesse.
okay.
Like
All right.
if they were swapped the other way around.
Okay. But I'll be Hugh Jackman in this scenario.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
Kathy
Kathy
Bates
Bates.
has come back.
Yeah.
And she said
Through time, and she said, "Look, I know you're not working a lot at the moment. Like, I mean, I know you've been doing your producing stuff and your little dinky podcast, but it's never going to pay any bills. I in the future, where I'm from,
No, you're from the past.
she's from the past.
Yeah, no, we said Kate Blanchett was taken from the future and brought to the past.
Yeah.
Or you can be taken from any time.
Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
They're going to take you to the past. This
Okay.
is the point.
Yeah.
Whenever Kathy Bates she's a time traveler.
Yeah.
She's not of any time.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. So she. Oh, no. I thought she
You know,
come
like
from the
Doctor Who.
past. Okay, sure.
Yeah, she's
All
a
right.
time traveler. She has a
she's
time
cosmic.
travel machine.
Sure. Does she have that scarf like in the hat? Like what's his Baker?
Tom Baker.
Tom Baker. Yeah.
No. But she's of no time.
Yeah, okay.
Because she's a time traveler.
So she's like a cosmic being.
Yeah.
Okay. Kathy Bates is a cosmic time
Yeah.
traveler. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. So she.
But we just said Andrew Upton was he was like a scientist. We're saying we're doing away with that theory now.
No, but once Andrew Upton also is like a citizen outside time.
Oh, so-
once you
so
have
once
a
you
time
discover
machine,
time machine, yeah.
you exist outside time.
But you continue to age, don't you? Once you have a time machine,
well,
because you are like the center point of time travel, so you can't fight death as a time traveler, can you? That's a good question.
that is a good question. Are you immortal? No, because just because you got a time travel machine doesn't make you immortal.
But if you're doing it on a sliding line, like
Yeah.
you are still going to age because even though you are moving through time physically, your body is also moving. If your body is physically moving through time, it is still decaying at the same rate.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, so everyone who has a time machine in this scenario, you still age naturally, but you have the ability to exist outside time.
Okay.
You can age naturally in whatever era you happen to be in at that time.
All right.
But while you're there, so Kate Blanchett is also aging naturally. Because she's in this time at the moment, even though she's been brought back from the future.
Yeah.
As this, I did actually think about that, like when she was at the Helpmans. I did look at her and went, if aliens invaded us and we had to nominate our representative,
Yeah.
the person who is the best of all that we are.
2020 summit.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett.
Kate
But she is
Blanchett.
she's like the ultimate Australian.
Yeah,
she
she's
speaks
awesome.
well. She's beautiful. She's a
Talented.
talented actress. Like she's politically aware. She's like married a hobbit and had some kids. The little Aussie butler.
That's
you
right.
know. And so, okay, so she's been brought back from the future. So Kathy
Okay.
Bates,
Yeah.
from wherever she's from,
Okay.
she has a time machine.
Okay.
She has a washing machine
Okay.
that, for some reason, one day when she was fiddling around trying to repair a washing machine, she
yeah.
discovered time travel.
Yeah.
And she
It turned into a hot tub washing machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Time
It's
machine.
like that. It's very much like that
Yeah.
film.
Okay.
That film, Hot Tub Time Machine, was actually loosely based on Kathy Bates'
Oh, I didn't
real
know
life
that.
story.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
loosely
interesting.
based,
Yeah.
so that they didn't have to pay for the rights.
Yeah.
They kind of changed a few things.
Sure.
The washing machine was a hot tub, and Kathy Bates was, that guy from The Daily Show.
Painfully long
Yeah.
explanation.
Anyway, so Kathy Bates comes to here and she says, Charlie Clausen, in the future, it turns out that, there was a big revival of your work.
Yeah.
Blue Healers,
Head Start.
Head Start,
Canal Road.
Big Canal Road pets. Undervalued.
Yeah, that's right. It becomes like an undiscovered classic. It's
Well, because actually, really ironically, the porn parody Anal Road had become this like crossover hit, Debbie Does Dallas or Deep Throat style,
and it sparked interest in the original series.
in the original series because people want to go back and see, what the porn parody was based on.
Okay, so it's huge in the future.
Yeah. So, anyway, love your work.
Yeah.
What I really want to do though is, because you're not working much at the moment, is take you to some acting lessons. Really make you into the great actor, and then take you back to 1980,
Okay.
and make you the biggest actor in the world.
Okay, and what's the catch?
You have to have sex with me, Kathy Bates. Whenever I want, and you can never leave me.
Can I have sex with other girls as well?
No,
It's only
just
you.
me. We're gonna have family. We've got to have kids.
But
Yeah,
that's a tough
the
one. Kat.
biggest actor in Australia. We won an Academy Award.
Well, what about the biggest actor in the world?
I can promise you an Academy Award. You'll win an Oscar, but you do have to have sex with me whenever I want.
Okay. What if I don't become a huge success? Like, there's no guarantees.
No, I can guarantee you, because we'll just keep traveling through time until you're good enough that.
If I don't have the talent, I don't have the talent. I mean, we've got to have, like, I guess, a sort of. Let's do it in short. Let's say if I don't win an Oscar in 4 years,
Yeah.
then the deal's off. You take me back to my time.
Yeah.
Okay.
4
sure.
years.
Okay, 4 years.
Yeah.
All right.
Otherwise, you have to stay with me
And how often do we have to have sex?
whenever I want, which is heaps.
You're like menopausal.
Yeah, I know. That's really got me into it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like when we say heaps, like how many times?
3 times a day.
And can I have the lights off?
You can have lights off 1 out of the 3 times a day. 2
One
times.
out of the 3.
Yeah. 2 times a day, you've got to have the lights on.
And what constitutes sex? Penetration
Penetration.
every time.
Yeah.
We ever go down on me?
No, unless I want to.
How about we do that? Okay, so
You have to penetrate me in one part of my body. Me, Kathy Bates. You have to penetrate me in one part of my body every day.
I've got to
Every day.
penetrate you with my
Yeah.
penis.
Yep. Mouth,
Oh, that's all right.
vagina,
Yeah, mouth. Yeah.
or anal. Or occasionally I'll let you put in my armpit or my ear.
Okay, but okay. So,
But 3 times a day at least
well,
until I orgasm.
well, the first
me,
one,
Kathy Bates.
the first one doesn't bother me so much. You'll suck my dick basically once a day.
Yep.
I can handle that. Vaginal, anal. Don't know about those health issues.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, it's only us. We're only together. You and I.
I know, but there is a spread of bacteria.
Oscar.
with the anal sex.
Oscar. Academy Award.
Can we negotiate that down and
2.
say we only?
It's not a negotiation. I have a time travel machine.
No, let me tell you. Let's just be open to this. What
Mate,
about it's twice?
Guyton Grantley is outside the door. Very happy to take this deal if you won't.
Guyton Grantley doesn't need this deal. Guyton Grantley's doing fine. Look. I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm just saying, can we just negotiate the terms of it? How about we have sex like twice a day, once oral,
Yeah.
and then one
below the
hold
belt,
your choice.
whatever.
Yeah. But only twice.
Mystery hole.
I'll just turn the lights off and charge at you. Now,
I'll put you on a lazy Susan. I will spin you around in a circle and I will enter erect and see what happens.
okay. Yeah, sure. How old are you?
Whatever. How old Kathy Bates is?
But
I don't know, 80.
But if you got a time machine, I don't want you like flipping around and staying alive forever. Like, I'll do it because I'm guessing that you're gonna be dead in 20 years.
I can't stay alive forever. I age naturally.
Yeah, so you're about 40 pounds.
Even though I'm outside time.
You're about 40 pounds overweight. Yeah, I'm gonna do it, Kathy Bates. I'm gonna do it.
All right.
Now, this is me turning to my friend Will and saying, "Hey, dude,
Yeah.
probably not gonna believe this. Kathy Bates just appeared on a time machine saying she can teach me acting endlessly until I'm really good with her time machine. Then she's gonna take me back to 1980 and turn me into a huge star and gonna win me an Oscar in 4 years. And the only catch is that I have to fuck her.
Yep.
I'm totally gonna kill her." As soon as we get to 1980 and my career is going fine, I'm gonna kill her. I told her I was going to have anal sex with her and all kinds of shit. But as soon as I get my career going, and it's 1980, so I'm assuming I just got cast in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but here's the problem, dude. And
What?
this is the problem.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Because I'm Kathy Bates and I've travelled through time, I've been to the future, so I will know if you have killed me or not. Because I'll be able to look up what happened to me and what happened to you. So I'm already prepared for the eventuality that you might try to kill me.
But you only have seen one possible past. You haven't seen all the possibilities.
I don't want to get into the area of like
You can't.
multi-dimensional possibilities here, but
You're a time traveler. You better get used to the idea of
Yeah.
different dimensions, parallel universes.
Yeah.
No, there's no way she could know. If she comes to me now, she can only know the past that has happened because the future hasn't. She's talking about taking me back to 1980. How can she possibly?
she has some similar technology to the photos in Back to the Future. You know, like she's got some photo that tends to disappear when things are...
It's a photo of me like having sex with her, just crying, like tears in my face. She's smiling, and I'm like, I got a ball gag in my mouth. Tears running
She has
down
a
my
sex
eyes.
tape.
That's
She has
right.
a sex tape of you guys fucking, and every time she watches it, if you're not like a little bit of you disappears.
The problem was she didn't realize for 6 months because she thought she just had tracking issues on her video player. And it's like she's a time traveler. Why is she still watching VHS? I'm watching DVDs. I'm not even a time traveler.
All right. So anyway, the point of this whole extended like rave was that Kate Blanchett is beautiful and
Yeah.
married an ugly guy.
If you got banished, better than that. If you got banished to a desert island and you could only take one inanimate object to masturbate with, what would it be? And you have to like.
This is a twist on desert island discs.
Yeah, that's
You know,
right.
it's like what records would you take to a desert island? What would you take
What inanimate object would you take to masturbate with?
with?
And if you don't masturbate, like you can't refuse, you'll get like tortured for that, you know.
Yeah, and it can't be like one of those like human-sized dummies that like
Oh, yeah.
like that those people
No,
marry.
it
They
can't-
marry them.
It can't be an actual sex toy. It can't be designed for sex. It's got to be something that you are going to build for sex. And it can't be fruit. It can't be anything organic. It has to be artificial.
Okay. Wow. I must admit, of all the things we've talked about, this is something that, like, normally when we talk about things on this, the thought has at least at some stage crossed my mind. So
Yeah.
then when we start to talk about it, I go, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
This is not something that I have ever thought about. Do you know what it would be for you?
Well, all right. What are the rules? Do we have electricity on the island?
No.
No, so I can't get a
No.
vacuum.
Maybe a generator.
Jenny,
The generator.
I fucked the generator. Well, it'd have to be something. It'd have to be something that I think it couldn't be too. Because you're gonna have to do it every day.
Yeah.
3 times a day.
You have to.
Yeah, every day.
Why?
Because you've been monitored by, you've been monitored by. It's like that '60s show, The Prisoner.
Right.
Like you just wake up one day and you're on this island, and they're observing you and
it's just
preventing
like,
your
it's
escape.
actually just like it's some
Big Brother.
extras from Lost. Like there was one more
Island.
There was one more island, and underneath there was there was just a guy down there. Somebody had to push a button. Every 104 minutes, and somebody had to masturbate 3 times a day with an inanimate object. Sadly, that guy never got rescued, so he's still down there.
You didn't want to get rescued.
At
He was
the
having a
moment.
great fucking time. Yeah, so I'd want
alright.
something that like isn't gonna like rip my dick up. So like I wouldn't go for like maybe like a Nerf ball.
Yeah, right.
Can I soak it in the salt water?
Oh, wouldn't that hurt though?
I
What if
know,
you had
would
any open cuts or nicks?
Might be therapeutic.
Oh, yeah, right.
And,
Yeah.
and help me deal with like pubic lice and stuff in case my Nerf ball has been sleeping around.
Yeah, all right. A Sharon.
Yeah,
Sharon
that's
footy.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Because then you can kick it around. When
Yeah,
you
totally.
Kick it between the trees when you're bored.
Yeah, exactly.
But what are you going to fuck? You can't stick it. How small is your dick? You're not getting in that little hole, are you? I suppose you can just rub it. You can just rub your dick on it. Is that what you're saying? You're not actually penetrating it. You're just like.
I hadn't thought that I would penetrate it. No,
No.
I just thought I'd.
I see. I was thinking it's something I had to penetrate. So
Right.
I was saying like a Nerf ball because I thought I could get in there.
What are those things? Those like hoppers that when you were a kid.
Oh, the
Those
space hoppers.
Space hoppers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you could fashion some sort of hole in a space hopper, couldn't you?
no.
That would be,
You'd let it-
and then you could kind of bounce around and do it at the same time.
So like, I love
you know
that
when
your thing. You need a dual purpose object.
Well, I just figure if I'm only able to take a limited amount of things
Yeah.
to this deserted island, I might as well take something that I can fuck and
Have fun with.
use in the times when I'm not doing that. That would have been a great scene in Castaway if it had just got
If it had been like Brokeback Mountain, like if you redid Castaway like Brokeback Mountain, so it's kind of like a really like a slow moving, highly like contemplative drama about one man and his like forbidden passion with was it volleyball?
I can't quit you, Wilson. So Alexander,
You could have the tent scene.
just before the ball volleyball's there, and then Tom Hanks is just spitting on his hands.
The volleyball's beating its fist on the ground. Brokeball Mountain.
Oh man. So Alexander Skarsgård
Yes.
was at the gym, and I think he is like one of the coolest guys going around. But B, I do find him like I'm in Kevin Smith's camp on this one.
He's a
He
very
is
beautiful
very
man.
very attractive man, and I think because he also like plays a vampire who'll just pash anything.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all there. And there was part of me that was like, I'd love to be mates with him. I should be mates with him. And I thought I had an in too, which is like I had interviewed Ryan Quanten for the GQ Man of the Year. He won the GQ Man of the Year, and I did the interview with him for it. So I thought, well, I know somebody who works with him on his show. That could be an in.
Yeah.
Right. And I honestly, the reason I didn't go up to him was I was like, oh God, I've been working out for an hour. I look horrible. If I am ever going to have an opportunity to meet Alexander Skarsgård,
I wanna look perfect.
It's not going to be in my old tracksuit pants with my big buffy hair and my face is all red from working out for all this time. I was happy to meet Fabio like that, but I draw the line at Skarsgård.
So you didn't chat to him?
Didn't chat to him.
Are you going to chat to him? You should.
I'm hoping that I will see him again.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be great if you did become buddies, like best friends, and you build a tree house together, and you're always hanging out in it.
Yeah.
Doesn't he go with Kate Bosworth?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, that would
that's
like-
reason enough to be friends with him.
Do you know what I would love? Is that like if you just discovered that me and Alexander Skarsgård were doing a podcast together.
You know what?
It's like, take that, Michael Chamberlain.
It's-
Me and Skarsgård have got our shit going
It's one
on.
of those things. It's like with Gemma. Like Gemma always, I said to Gemma, look, if you get the chance to fuck Johnny Depp, then yeah, good on you. Like I can't compete with that. So look, if you get a chance to do a podcast with Alexander Skarsgård, no, I can't compete with. What am I going to offer you? What am I? We're in my front room in Sydney, Australia. He probably lives in a castle in the sky, surrounded by a river of gold. I don't know. He's a big Hollywood star, isn't he?
Totally.
Does he have an accent? I can't work out about... He's kind of got that Dolph Lundgren thing where he looks like he should have like that accent, that kind of Nordic accent. But he doesn't, does he?
He's Swedish, I believe, though.
Oh, so he isn't... Yeah, and so's Dolph.
Yeah.
They look like they should have accents, but they don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
They're adaptable people, the Swedes.
What do you mean?
I don't know. They just feel like, they fit
You
in
can
anywhere.
fit him in anywhere. Yeah.
They
They do have a great reputation.
You know what they're like? They're like those people who have that blood type that's a universal donor.
Oh.
Yeah, like how some people have specific blood that they can only get, and then there's a universal donor, which means that
Your blood is region free.
Yeah, you're region free.
didn't
That's
know
right.
that.
Yeah,
Who are those people? They sound like they could be like the next generation of human evolution. Like
It's-
omnibloods.
it's more rare, but it's like but it's a real thing, and it's a thing that quite a lot of people have.
So their blood is compatible with anyone
Yeah.
who has a blood type for transfusion.
Yeah, correct.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Where
But you're right. They are the region-free human beings.
Yeah,
That's exactly what they
where
are.
they're being kept. Those people need to be protected. Like when the
I love that your
apocalypse
first
comes.
thought was, let's round them up.
We need to get the Newton Registration Act going.
They've got something that we can
There's something
use.
different.
Let's round them up and let's just run a series of tests on these people.
We need to know who they are and what they can do. No, I'm serious. Like we need. I mean, that's a rare skill. Like that to me does sound like the X gene is evolving. Is it a recent thing or have there always been omni? I'm calling them omni like that's what they're fucking called. Omni. What are they called? Just help me out here.
They're universal donors. That's what they're called. That's the
That's
official.
a fucking shit name. Like they need a cool superhero name, like Unibloods.
But Universal Donor sounds like an action movie. Like it's a sequel to
Universal
Universal
Soldier.
Soldier. I'm the Universal Donor.
I don't
Like
think
he
so.
goes everywhere that the Universal Soldier has been and donates
Does
his blood to the victims.
victims.
It's like a companion thing.
It's the expanded universe. You know how they do expanded fiction.
I think that they've just been around forever. I think it's just like a thing that happens. But it's a real thing.
It's fucking cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was Universal Donor, I'd be fucking strutting around. If I had anything special about me, I'd be strutting around letting people know that, man, my fucking blood could save you. You can have my blood. And everyone in this room can have my blood, and it's gonna gel with you,
That doesn't sound creepy.
doesn't it? Oh, it
Sounds
does.
really creepy.
Oh, right.
Like if you were going up to people going, if that was your, hey, I'm special.
Drink of me.
Yeah, drink of me. I'm a universal donor.
And you were also Media Personality of the Year, if I read correctly. Is that right?
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that you brought that up. I wasn't going to mention it, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Well, in the space of this podcast, you've won 2 awards.
Yeah.
I've won none.
And you're not even a universal donor. Take that. Who's watching the porn? It's like sometimes when I'm looking on the internet, I'm like, is there anyone who hasn't done porn?
Yeah.
Because it feels like I have met, of all the people I've met in my life, whether it be they in person or on television or whatever, I've met, like, a lot of them have been porn stars.
Really?
Well, just because, like, when over the years, when you flick through things, you see a lot of different faces.
Yeah.
Like, you don't go back to, like, whereas if I'm watching TV, I'm watching the same cast of, like, 10 or 12 people every week, Whereas on the internet, you never see, like, you just see new people all the time. It was like it would be like, that porn on the internet would be like if you watch television and every time a show was on, it had different actors in it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was shot really well and sometimes it was shot really badly.
Yeah.
But it was just... Anyway, so everyone's getting so into porn, right? And then, like, obviously the next step is going to be some sort of virtual reality sex thing, right?
Yeah.
And so they get this virtual reality sex thing and everyone starts fucking their computers and fucking this virtual reality sex thing and the human race starts to die out.
Yeah.
Because people don't have the need to fuck other people anymore.
Yeah, they've got perfect fantasy.
Yeah, totally. So eventually the rise of the machines overthrow, like, the people who've been fucking them and whatever. And so now no pornography is available across the land.
Yeah.
Except for your exchange student.
Yeah.
Who has this, like, massive
Pile of porn.
Which is now, like, the currency of
So
the
what
land.
happens though? But why would people need? Why is there an apocalypse? I don't understand. How does
Because we've
human race has
basically
died
become
out.
computer fucking people.
Yeah.
And eventually the machines are tired of just being used as
Sex
fuck toys,
objects.
and they overthrow us.
So they develop consciousness, and
Yeah.
the first thing their consciousness tells them is, "I don't want to be objectified.
I
I,
don't
want you
wanna
to
be,
love
like,
me
fucked." Yeah, exactly, all the time.
as the greatest invention of the 21st century."
Yeah. I'm not just some giant mechanical fuck toy to you.
And
I have artificial intelligence.
So how does it exact its revenge? Cuts off all the porn.
Yeah, it cuts off all the porn. It destroys the internet. And
The internet destroys itself. Or
No, it just
cuts
wipes all
off the
porn from the
The
internet.
internet develops consciousness.
Yeah.
And eradicates its own porn.
Yeah, totally.
Cache.
Yeah, so no one can do
But
porn.
can't humans just make new porn and upload it, or it gets deleted straight away?
All the cameras are destroyed as well.
The computers can control cameras.
Yeah, because everything's hooked into the internet.
So as soon as there's no way you can shoot something and upload it to, but can you still shoot it? You can still get your handy cams and mobile
No.
phones and shit. No
Nothing.
electronic devices.
No, none of those
Because
devices
somewhere
work
in
anymore.
this story, technology has all become interlinked and it's all controlled by. the
Yeah,
internet.
totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the computer destroys porn off the internet or
Yeah.
takes it off, and
people can't create their own porn anymore.
No. I mean, I suppose they could fuck in front of each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Does
that's
that
as
happen?
close.
Is it like it's a bit like Wall-E, where in Wall-E the humans become so plugged into like the internet and drinks in a can and food in a can that they lose the ability to walk. It's kind of a similar thing. People get so plugged into the sex and they forget how to fuck.
Yeah, totally.
Their penises and their vaginas shrivel or
So,
something.
well, they don't actually...
malnourished.
They don't fit each other anymore because we've
Yeah,
developed this
that's
sort
right.
of... Like,
Because the men have been putting their penises in these little kind of electronic socks to stimulate them during sex.
Yeah.
And a byproduct of that is the electrodes have shriveled the man's cock down to like a little. It looks like a fried sweet potato chip. That's what all male penises look like in the future. And the women's vaginas, because they've been using like clit stimulators and like dildos and stuff, the clits have developed to like bulbous proportions, like the size of a watermelon.
Yeah.
And the vaginas have become hollowed out, like just like an empty shell.
Right.
Yeah.
So it looks like somebody's like put one of those like boxing trainer things on the roof of a cave.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Wow, that's well summed up. Well summed
Well,
up.
no, you painted just a perfect image for me, Charlie. It was immediately in my mind.
So women have giant gaping vaginas with oversized clitorises, and men have tiny shriveled penises, so they can no longer fuck. Yet they're still stimulated and they want to fuck.
Yeah.
Can they not just masturbate? They have to find porn.
Yeah, well, they can
the
masturbate, but
internet's taken
because
their
they have so
imagination as well.
they have so gone to the point of
Stimulation.
that they can't get off just through their imagination anymore. Because like you said, their brain has no capacity for memory because it's just been constantly images of porn and fucking
And legend spreads that that there's a man, a mysterious figure in the mountains of New Tokyo, and so a group. Two men and two women go on a journey to seek him out to find sexual stimulation again. And he's living there. Is he in a cave or is he in a basement? If he was stockpiling, you'd think he'd be in a basement. Or it could be like on a hut up in the hills.
I always thought of him being underground.
Okay. So they go out to a desert. Classic apocalypse imagery in a desert. They've followed the map to this right spot. He should be there, but they don't know. Then one of them triggers a tripwire across the ground.
Great.
And they get caught up in a net.
Yeah. So he's gone a bit Mad Max.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
I don't know why you need to. I mean, in this kind of maudlin view of the future, all that we've lost is the ability to watch porn on the internet. Yet suddenly we've all also descended into a wasteland.
But we become so reliant on watching porn and stimulation that I think we would I'm not just saying it about porn, but I'd say we lost all technology tomorrow. It would take a period of adjustment. People would be fine eventually without technology. But in the short term, we'd realise that all the things that we've become really reliant on technology for.
Yeah.
A lot of things don't start without technology or whatever these days. So it's one of those things where I think, we'll become more and more reliant on this sort of visual stimulation.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can't see anymore.
But why is
the next step is honestly that there'll be some sort of 3D thing that you can fuck.
But why has it led to the downfall of the human race? Like, while we're all plugged in to the internet watching the best porn ever created, were we also not like building houses and shit like that, or farming food and stuff like that?
I guess we were going to do our job because we still had to pay for the fucking broadband or whatever it was.
Well, maybe we reached a point as a society where, like, have you heard about the Venus Project? It's this kind of there's a guy called Jacques Fresco who has been sort of pushing this kind of utopic vision of if we did away with a monetary society, how we would all live. And his basic idea is that every city becomes has a computer central nervous system, and the computers control all transport, farming, construction. So there's no need for people to have jobs and earn money.
Is that his recipe for disaster plan? That's when the machines take over, man, is when you come up with these sort of societies that are reliant on some sort of central nervous system. That is when the fucking machines take over.
So that's
man.
that's
what's happened.
He doesn't suggest that.
Yeah.
But that's what's
no,
happened.
of course he
in your
doesn't.
future.
He's all fucking into it's a great idea. There's always a character like him in the Terminator. Some dude who had the good intentions of inventing this, brilliant world that we could all live in together until the machines took over and took away our porn.
So you're saying Skynet has achieved consciousness
Yeah.
and it's taken away the porn.
Yeah.
But the reason I was bringing up Jack Fresco is I'm saying is the reason we're all plugged into porn because this same computer system, which is stimulating us, has also taken over all construction, transport. So there's no need for us to have jobs.
I guess so. I guess that could be the
So
case.
when we come out of the internet porn universe, there's still a world to inhabit, and it's not like it's a wasteland, is it?
No.
Okay.
Which makes our hero's choice to live in a cave in the middle of the desert melodramatic. You know, he knows...
It's a great way to introduce a character.
Yeah. But he's done it for effect himself.
Well, he's probably gone off the grid. Because maybe...
He's gone totally off the grid.
Maybe
He's had
when
to.
the,
That's exactly the way he's had
when
to
the
do.
internet pulled all the porn off, it also sent droids out to destroy all printed pornography.
Totally.
And so he took a jeep up into the mountains
Yeah.
with all the porn he could carry.
Got off the grid. There's probably some chip. Because you know they're talking about these days about you having a chip in your like wrist or whatever that you can have your credit card details on.
No, I didn't know that. Are
Yeah,
they really?
like this is the thing that really think about. You just get a little chip in and then you can flick it into your credit card basically. And that is like to me...
Every time you wank, it makes that credit card beep beep sound. Beep beep. Swipe it again. Beep beep.
You've been denied. You're overdrawn. Your limit.
I'm sorry, your masturbation's been declined.
Don't leave home without it. It's one of those things where I think that something like that has definitely happened. So like, yeah, you've got a chip in your head or whatever, and he's had to go off the grid. So he's dug the chip out of his head.
Yeah.
And he's living in a bunker,
Masturbating.
masturbating
Because
furiously.
he's living in constant fear that it's going to be taken from him at any second. He knows what's happened to the rest of the world. So he's like, God damn it, I'm taking my best pornos.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fucking drive to the mountains. I'm going to just jack it until the machines come to kill me.
Totally. Yeah.
But he was so good at hiding, the machines never came.
He's going to go out in a blaze of glory. That was his...
But when they found him, because he's been masturbating furiously,
He's
in the belief-
developed a really strong arm.
That's right.
That he can use to fight. There's one just a massive, like, Hulk arm that he can just bash dudes with. Like, it's like basically he's been working out with the shake weight
Yeah.
for all this time. And it's like it actually does work. And he's like, so that's the only thing that can take on the machines.
Yeah.
Is his one hand, which is really good with computer skills, and his other hand that is really good at just bashing through stuff. It's brilliant.
So to bring the conversation full circle, if you're from another country, what did you just make of that entire discussion?
There's some pretty weird places on there. I would like, and encourage people, if you know them in different countries, to join up and have a listen, because I love the fact that we're in all these different places. I could go there and do comedy to the 4 people who've downloaded.
We don't know.
What's the smallest?
Norway.
How many downloads have we had in Norway?
Oh, let's not go to numbers, Paul.
No, let's just say. I mean, we know it's the smallest,
okay,
right?
it's the smallest, so 94 times. So arguably, it could be 3 people who have downloaded every episode, or it could be like one person who's downloaded, every episode 3 times, or. So I think it's
So one person in Norway who's not very good at downloading things on computers is really racking up our numbers. I like that idea though, because there's something really charming about the fact that 3 people and an entire country of people are following something that that we're doing. Like, do you know what I mean? That, like, imagine in one country there's just 3 people. I love the idea that those 3 people don't know each other.
Yeah.
But one day they could be like sitting together on a train or whatever.
No,
and
they'd be at a video store, and Misery would be playing.
Yeah.
And one of them would look up and go,
just laugh, and the other one would be like, "You're not laughing at Kathy Bates to the future, are you?"
or you meet
And then they would bond together.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be brilliant.
TOFOP.
Yeah.
Bringing lonely people together across the world. It would be interesting to know, though, if they didn't speak English. I mean, would you ever attempt to listen to a podcast if you could just so you could only understand every 3rd word, or you could get the gist, but not specifics? How long would you give that fucking podcast?
I sometimes, I guess if it's just audio, not very long.
You're talking about watching like Spanish soaps or something?
Yeah, I will watch like the wrestling with the Mexican commentary sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mind that. And sometimes I'll watch like soccer highlights, because like that's all soccer should be. They should play the games, but they shouldn't invite anyone to the games.
Yeah.
And then they should just like show everyone the highlights. Like, because soccer highlights are awesome.
Yeah.
Like that 3 minutes of them showing the goals and the best bits of soccer every week, I love. And so I'll watch that in a different language, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't sit through 80 minutes of soccer.
No.
in general. But
Even with English-speaking
English, I
commentators.
wouldn't care.
Hey, you don't want to alienate.
The sound of Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis having sex together from Black Swan. If they just loop that sound over the top of soccer, I still wouldn't want to watch it.
Oh, really?
And that's, you know what? And I love sport, and that's not a judgment against soccer, because I've heard all the arguments and I understand the arguments about why soccer's good. I just personally don't enjoy it. That's all it is. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's the world sport. I don't enjoy it.
Why are you... Oh, I don't understand why you're having to launch this defense. It'd be okay for you to not like soccer.
I know, but that's just my honest feelings about soccer. Is that it's like one of those
I know,
things,
but
soccer is like
soccer
is like classical music to me. I know that I should appreciate it. I know that it's good for me. I just don't like it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I understand that, like, if I have Metamucil, I'll have a really, like, regular, solid shit. But I don't want to really have
So
a
now
regular,
you're saying
solid shit.
soccer's like shit.
No,
Dude,
I'm saying it's regular.
No wonder you put the disclaimer in your statement. No, look, I agree. I mean, I don't mind soccer. I don't think I'd ever sit down and watch a game. I like scoring. I like to see games with scores. And I just get bored.
And you know what the thing for me too is...
I'm the same about cricket now,
People
though.
say that the good thing about soccer is that, like, you know, the tension build up and you never know when, you know, they're going to score. And I understand that on an intellectual level. When I watch soccer, like if I've watched Australia in the World Cup or something like that, I just feel nervous the whole time that we're going to lose. Like the whole time. So it's just like this the whole time. I'm just like... And the only thing I feel if they get a goal is relief. So it's basically just nervous pent-up emotion.
Yeah.
Or, if I'm lucky, some relief.
Yeah.
I never get to experience joy.
Yeah. It's
Like-
like Russian roulette.
It is like Russian
Thank
roulette.
God I didn't die.
And that is how I feel when I watch. And that's just not... It's like I really am dying for a piss and I'm worried that I won't get to the fucking public restroom before I wet myself in the middle of a shopping mall. That's how I feel about soccer. And like a goal is if I actually get to the urinal and like I have that like that piss of relief. That's how I feel. That doesn't make me feel good. It just makes me feel like, thank God I didn't wet myself in the middle of a mall.
Have you are you one of those people who has to do like regular stops? Can you hold on if you need? Like just say you're at a shopping centre and it's a 15-minute walk to the car, 15-minute drive to get home. Will you hold on?
It's one of the reasons that I don't want to live past about 65 is I am going to be like a fucking sprinkler. Like seriously.
Hello and welcome to TOFOP! At the start of episode, when we're in our 60s, we're doing it.
I honestly, if we are in our 60s and we are doing this, somebody please come to where we are right now, find where we are, and kill us.
No, it's our reunion tour.
Oh, right.
We get discovered like once we're washed up.
Yeah.
So in about 5 years, people rediscover our tapes, and where they find like we become really popular on like a TV show in 2030, say.
Yeah.
And they
Probably
say,
in some ironic way.
yeah, that's right.
So,
It's
some,
like,
some
oh my
young
God, can you
hipsters
believe?
adopt us as like a punchline
Yeah,
for their jokes.
We're like Doug Anthony,
yeah.
and so
But it gives us a bit of a career boost anyway.
yeah, but they track us down, and you're living on a farm somewhere on your own, not talking to anyone. And
Dad'd be happy that I've gone back to the farm.
yeah, that's right.
So
Where
even though I'm a dangerous loner.
where am I? I'm kind of back working in the equivalent of a video store, except it's 2030, so it's actually just like a glass box where people call me, and I press a button on a computer, and they get their film. And all I do is watch movies all day.
Yeah.
So they drag us out and they put us back on the road. And so we start doing TOFOP again.
Right.
But you've got uncontrollable bladder well, I was going to say uncontrollable bladder control. But you can't control your bladder. So every 5 seconds you're spraying piss all over my face.
Yeah, I can barely do it now. And I know you're meant to try to hold on so that you build up some powers so that when you're
Is that really?
60, you don't have to wear a nappy. Yeah, you're not meant to piss too regularly. You're meant to let it build up a little bit so you kind of, exercise your muscles. And then, like, when you're older, you won't, like, fucking leak all the time.
So did you never do that?
No.
I'm really good at it.
I don't like to hold on.
I've held my bladder like across state lines.
Yeah, right.
Like-
I'd rather die young than
Hold on to your
hold
piss.
on to my piss. That's just the decision that I've made to live in the now.
Are you one of those dudes who can piss anywhere though? Because I hate those dudes.
What do you mean?
Like you're walking down like it's Flinders Street on a Thursday afternoon, and you'll see a dude fucking pissing in it behind some bins because he couldn't wait till he got to work.
Yeah, I am one of those.
I mean, seriously?
I grew up in the country, man. You can just piss everywhere.
It's not the country now, man.
I know, but like, you know what? You just there's a little bit of that in you. You keep that in you as you grow up. Even though I've
It's
gone out in the world and lived
disgusting.
in the inner city and sipped cafe lattes.
Don't fucking pull the working class man on me.
I still can
I know
just-
where you live. I know what you do for a living. You cannot pull
I
the
can
blue
still
collar
piss
card.
where I like. There's a little bit of
Is it,
country in me.
were you about to say, back when I was a Broady boy, you sound like another media commentator.
No, well, that's just my roots, Charlie. You can't deny that. Spent the first 17 years of my life on a farm. So,
Yeah, and spent the last,
where
like-
you can piss where you like.
17 years, like, developing very, like, white-collar tastes.
I'm just saying, the one bit of me that remains.
Oh, thank God for the rest of us. That the one thing you didn't hold on to the country charm, hospitality.
Ability to make scones.
All you held on to is the ability to piss wherever you want.
Yeah.
So I love quiet drive through the country, and you're going through the fields, and you see Farmer Joe pissing on a lamppost. Then you pull into the main street, go to a pie shop, and you see Mrs. Mackenzie squatting over a fucking bowl.
I've pissed in a bottle in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
While driving?
Yeah, while driving.
How did you do that?
Well, not while actually driving, while pulled up because I
Okay.
was stuck in traffic and couldn't get somewhere that,
Wow.
and I thought I was going to die.
What kind of bottle was it?
I don't know, like, a
1.25?
yeah, it was like, 1.25. That's exactly what it was. It was a 1.25.
Thank God you had it in the car. How often would you have an empty 1.25 in your car?
Oh, yeah, more often than you'd think.
Really?
Yeah, I really like soft drink.
Yeah, you do, actually.
Yeah.
You've been drinking Dr. Pepper like it's fucking gone out of style.
Yeah, I'm, again,
Which I
that's
think it has.
literally because I drank so much of it.
Yeah.
Why
It's
is
gone
Dr.
out of
Pepper
circulation.
suddenly gone out of style? Someone's like, look, we've looked at the map, and there is this one 7-Eleven that is going through Diet Dr. Pepper like it's going out of style to the point where it has literally gone out of style.
So how did you stuff your dick inside the...
Well, I didn't stick it inside because I couldn't, like...
Fit it.
Yeah, fit it
You
inside.
could have stuffed the head in though.
Yeah, you got to aim the head in,
But you didn't stuff it in like a marshmallow.
No, I was worried to get stuck.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
As if you're stuffing it in, there's like you turn around, it's like, we see your license. And you're like, just give me a minute. It's like, what do you got there? Hold your hands up. You're like, no, I can't. Dragged you out of the car. Your fucking Todgers tucked into a Coke bottle.
They're taking
I can explain this, officer.
They're taking photos.
Yeah.
It's on Facebook in half an hour. It's in the papers the next day.
Oh, so this was when you were Will Anderson. I was thinking it was like when you were 18 or something. No, this is recently.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That could have been the next Hugh Grant scandal.
Yeah.
It would have been a photo of the cover of the paper would have been a photo of you with like holding up the fucking mug shot and then a photo of a bottle, like Divine Brown.
No, I would have improvised my way out of it. Or been like, I know I'm drinking it for health reasons. I'm on this, like, I have to bottle my own urine and then, or I have to like do a drug test. So I was bottling it up so I could.
But you still
Take
can't.
it.
You still can't expose yourself, can you? Is it exposing yourself if it's in your car?
No, you can do what you like in your car, can't you?
Well, if you're outside of primary school, you're gonna raise some questions.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It does have to do with the location of your car. But I would have thought that you're fine. Like, I mean, you can't do what you like. It's not like you can
So
break the law
all
while
right.
you're in there. But
okay, but if you pull into like,
but people like
is it
put out the
okay-
window of their car and start picking their nose. Like, it's your own
If
both.
you pull into a city like a suburban street, quiet suburban street,
Yeah.
and you just pull your pants down and just sit there and have a snooze just with your pants down,
Why?
is that indecent exposure?
No, I want to know why you did it first.
No, I don't know. Just as a test, as an experiment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that probably is indecent exposure.
Okay. But you said that you could have your cock out in the car.
Yeah, if you're having a quick wee into a bottle.
But you can't leave it out.
No. Like, if I had the wee into the bottle,
Okay, what if you
I can't just leave my cock out.
What if you pull into the suburban street
Yeah.
and you pull out your cock for 5 minutes
Right.
and then tuck it back in?
And
Is
while,
that like
while,
is
while
that
it's
is that,
out,
is that an offence? Just so you get caught retrospectively, there's a CCTV camera, and
Yeah.
they get your registration, and they say, "Mr. Anderson, you pulled into this street here, and you seems from the video you pulled your penis out. You sit there for 5 minutes approximately, and put your penis back in and drive away. Can they charge you with anything?"
Yeah, they probably could judge you with indecent exposure, but I'd say something like, I was driving along and I felt this like burning in my crotch, like a bee had stung me or there's been something, and I just I knew it wouldn't be safe to drive in the state I was at, so I really needed to cool down my crotch area. So I pulled in this place where I knew there'd be no people around, and I was just like, trying to so I could get home and obviously address what had happened. Like I certainly didn't mean to cause any offence. At least that's what I said when it happened to me.
I was going to say, is that a I can't say it. Was that a prepared statement?
Yeah, that's right. That's what my lawyers advised me to say if this question came up while we were doing the podcast.
Can you be nude in your backyard?
I think if your fence is high enough, yeah.
If you can't be nude in your front yard if there's like no fence. It goes straight out to the street.
No, I think I think it's basically if anyone can see you. Like if anyone can see you reasonably. Like, I mean, I don't think you have to defend against someone in a hot air balloon with a,
What if you're surrounded by, like, actually in my backyard, I'm surrounded by high-rises, there's apartment buildings, and they all look down into my backyard. So if my morning routine was to go out and do Tai Chi in the nude in the morning, could my neighbours complain to the police and say there's a gentleman in his backyard?
Yes.
Or would the police say, well, stop looking into his backyard, it's his private property?
Shut your blinds.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't think you can control where people look. So I think that, you would be the one who's in trouble.
Are you
like,
serious?
You can't say
It's my backyard.
Don't look into their backyard. No, if you don't want people to look in your backyard, you've got to build a big fence. There's no law that says that people can't look. If there was, people wouldn't have to build fences. You could just say, don't look in my yard. It's the law.
But couldn't I argue that you didn't know you were being observed?
Yeah, the first time. The first time you could argue that. Like, I think that would be perfectly legitimate. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't actually think that anyone could see me. Of course, I won't do that again. But if you're out there again the next morning doing the fucking downward dog in the Nicky Nuna.
It's like you cut to, Randwick police station, the phone rings. It's like, hello? Yeah. Hey, guys, guess what it is? And they all go, Clawson.
Yeah, it's the butt phone.
Yeah. Yeah, officer, I had no idea. It's like the 12th time.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think there's like an intent and a, sort of reasonable doubt.
I think that's a bit rough. I think if you want to be nude in your own backyard, then it should be other people. If other people have got a problem with it, that's their problem. Like, it's your space. It's your bit of land. I'm a bit of a nudist. I do actually go to my backyard nude quite a bit.
Really?
But I'm quite confident that no one could see me.
I must admit that I will, if it's hot in summer, I will go from the house and jump in the pool, which is out like in the back of, obviously in the back of the house. And I might do that in the nude.
Yeah, right.
Because, it's like, it's summer. It's hot.
Well, you got a fucking pool.
And I've got a pool.
If you've worked hard enough to be able to afford a pool, then you should be able to fucking swim nude. You know what I mean? Like, I think the pool is, it serves a practical function, but just from like a self-esteem point of view. It's like, I've worked hard enough that I can fucking strut out nude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It affords you that kind of relaxation.
There is something about a pool that makes people want to get nude too. I don't really know what that is, but
I don't think it's pools. I think it's water. People like to get nude.
Yeah,
in water.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it's only that a pool is a good way to capture
contain
water.
All the. I thought you could say water to contain the nudity. I'm thinking yes. How much nudity can you catch?
Well, I was thinking it more contained the water, but the nudity is contained in the water. So I guess
there's something very sensual about like nudity, like going for a
skinny dip.
Skinny dip. Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever saw boobs. It was I think I might have talked about this. Jodie Scott. And she took her top off in our above ground swimming pool on New Year's Eve, and we were all kind of swimming in between each other's legs, and it's like when you're a teenager.
No, I never did that when I was a teenager.
Really?
I never went skinny dipping. How old were you?
I'm gonna say I was probably 13. And
Whoa!
she was like 14 or 15.
God. That would have blown my motherfucking mind.
I think that's about right.
Did she know what she was doing?
Yeah, definitely.
And how many people were in the pool?
Maybe there was like 8 or 10. Mostly kids.
That is a confident chick.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
And how many guys, how many girls?
I'll probably about even, but we would have been the eldest of the people. There would have been much youngers as well.
Wow.
Yeah, totally. It's I still remember that. And the moonlight, Like as I'm
It's so
trying to see
poetic.
the moonlight over the water because I'm like trying to actually like see
Yeah.
her boobs,
Yeah.
as opposed to like
sounds-
it's really dark to be
It
honest.
sounds like a scene from an art house European film about coming of age, like, my life as a dog. Like, it's so kind of romantic.
Except that in My Life as a Dog, they hadn't earlier in the day pulled the trampoline over to the side of the pool and soaped it all up so that we could do big bombs in the pool. But yeah, no, I remember that as being like a real sort of the year my voice broke.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, sort of awakening of my sexuality moment.
I don't think I had that. I definitely didn't. I didn't really see boobs. Like, I didn't know any girls who were like exhibitionists growing up. Like, if anything, they were like totally prudes. I thought maybe it's Catholic because I went to a Catholic high school. Actually, a lot of Catholic girls I knew were very, very kind of prudish through high school, and then when they got out of high school and discovered guys, they were like, "What the fuck?" Because I think
Yeah.
they get it drummed into them by the nuns.
Yeah.
Some of them who are kind of quite militant in their sort of feminism is just like men are only after one thing, which, when you go by the Catholic schoolgirl fetish fantasy, it's probably right.
Yeah.
They do get fetishized.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. There must be a period where you're like, when you've walked through the desert, that you enjoy your next drink.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
know? Like if you come on a boat as a refugee from another country and they take you to Sizzler and say, "We've paid you $15.99,
Yeah.
get cracking," you're probably gonna not just go, "I'll have a salad." You're probably gonna have a real crack at it,
Yeah.
just to see what it's like.
Yeah. But I never went skinny dipping. Never, not as a teenager. That came later. I actually heard a story. Some friends of mine were telling me on the weekend about how they met, and they had done some show at like a theatre near Bondi, and they were kind of had known each other at drama school, and were sort of like just flirting and stuff. And they went down to Bondi to have a midnight swim, and they went for a skinny dip. And when they came out, the girl said, "Oh, the worst part about skinny dipping is then having to put your clothes back on, like putting dry clothes off on wet skin." So the guy said, "Well, how far do you think you can get?" She's going, "What do you mean?" He's gone, "Home." So she's going, "I don't know." So they just grabbed their clothes and they ran home from Bondi Beach, like 6 blocks through Bondi to get to their house. And they got there. Isn't that an awesome story?
That is an awesome story.
And again, very romantic.
it's incredibly romantic.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to, I mean, you could probably, see out 10, 12 years of a bad relationship just based on how good that story is to tell at dinner parties.
It's almost too good to be true, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Like, I mean, you could put that in a movie and people would be like, "Oh yeah, if that was Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman, people would be like, "Oh yeah, this is a good
I
start."
don't know. I wonder if you put that in a film like Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman where you go, this is hackneyed. Because it almost is so like romantic and stuff. Maybe if you put it in a film...
All right, maybe
It
we
would-
have to cast more edgy people.
Yeah, it'd have to be like
maybe
Ryan Gosling.
and Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, right. Totally. Did you see 500 Days of Summer?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I did like it.
Oh,
Did you not like it?
I hated it. Yeah. I don't.
I like a romantic comedy in general, so
I-
I should put that on the table. I'm like, I think When Harry Met Sally is one of the all-time great films, and I know that is not a cool nor popular thing to say, but I think it is a perfect bit of movie making.
I'm not a hipster basher. I consider myself part hipster. But that was one of the most
On your mother's side, right?
hipsterific fucking film. Like when you find out that they both bond over the Pixies, it's like, could you have picked a more fucking stereotypical
And
band?
like,
Why
and
isn't
look,
it
they bond over
Sonic?
the Pixies.
Why isn't it Sonic Youth?
They quote a Morrissey
Oh god!
lyric. I mean, I also did when I was watching that think.
You went to the hipster handbook.
I was like, wow, these are a lot of things I was into in 1993. But because I also do like all those things, I was kind of like, oh, well, you know what? When do I get to see a movie where they quote Morrissey? And I know that it's Morrissey. And, the truth of it is that probably a lot of people don't. Like, that's what I felt like at the Grammys. Like, when everyone was like, who's Arcade Fire?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, are you serious? Like, to me, Arcade Fire seemed like a really established band that, like, had been headlining festivals.
And that all your friends know.
All my friends would know Arcade Fire, and all my friends would think they're one of, like, their favourite bands, This idea that nobody knows who they are. So sometimes you just go, well, this is not our world. And so when
Yeah.
I see something like 500 Days of Summer, I go, okay, well, at least they're mentioning the fucking Pixies and, Morrissey and stuff like that. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah.
I know it's not like, all the way, but and she is cute, Zooey Deschanel.
She's
Is
Katy,
it Zooey or Zoe?
I think it's Zooey. Katy Perry.
She's a bit Katy Perry. She's like a more indie Katy Perry.
Yeah, she's Indy Perry.
Yeah. That sounds like somewhere I've been on tour, Indie Perry.
Well, you know the guy who directed 500 Days of Summer is doing the Spider-Man reboot.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield. No, that's the guy.
Oh,
playing
Andrew
Spider-Man.
Garfield's the
director.
Spider-Man.
I can't remember his name, but that'll be interesting. Hipster Spider-Man. You just
Yeah.
see him hanging out in cafes in Brunswick,
Doing beat poetry. Wearing hats.
voting Demo-
Just getting rid of
voting Greens.
Yeah, definitely voting Greens.
Yeah.
Driving his Prius. Or he's got a bike. Some sort of basket on the front.
He goes to learn Thai cooking on a Tuesday night. Hipster Spider-Man. Who's his villain? Andrew Bolt. Who's his arch nemesis?
Andrew Bolt would be good, actually, like a right-wing sort of, newspaper columnist.
Yeah,
Who's like,
Joe Jonah Jameson would be. Yeah.
totally. Yeah,
Is it Jay? Hang on, what's his name?
JJ.
Is it Jonah Jameson? What did I say? Joe Jonah Jameson. I think
It's
his name
Jonah.
is Jonah Jameson, isn't it?
No,
it's
oh,
Jonah
hang on.
Jameson. Jonah.
Janet Jackson.
I'll cut this.
Is
bit
it
out.
Jermaine Jackson?
The guy. What's his name? I think it's Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could be.
The Jonas Brothers. It was Nick Jonas. I follow Zooey Deschanel on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I really do follow her in that way that I'm going, every time she tweets something, I judge it as if like we would get along as a couple.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I think that's really funny. Yeah, I think that's funny too. Oh, yeah, we'd be a cool couple.
Yeah. I'm doing that with Mary Elizabeth Winstead
Yeah.
from Scott Pilgrim.
And has there ever been times where they've said anything where you go, maybe we wouldn't get along? Or has it mostly been stuff where you go, oh yeah, we'd be an awesome couple?
I think she and I would get along really well.
Yeah.
But I think she might be a bit too conservative for me. Like she seems to stay in a lot, and she's sort of like tweets from home and I think I'd like to go out a bit more than she does. But
Well,
apart from
maybe
that,
though,
she's-
maybe
but-
if
but
you
I
guys
like
were
it-
a couple, she'd be really into going out. But maybe just at the moment she doesn't have anyone
Nah,
she wants to
I
go
think,
out
I
with.
think she's married. I looked creepily through her wedding videos, which she posted a link to on Twitter, her wedding photos. And I looked at all her wedding guests and looked at her husband and imagined like my head replaced creepily. No, I didn't. But I did look at her wedding photos and go, oh, her husband looks nice and I think he's a musician and her friends look nice, but they look kind of boring.
Yeah, well, I've been profiling Zooey Deschanel in the same way as you've been profiling her, where you start to think about, okay, well that works, and she's a vegan,
Yeah.
which that's okay. I'm vegetarian. I think we could make that work as like dinner choices.
Yeah.
She is married to a musician as well, but like they seem to do really cool things like have dance offs and stuff to settle arguments.
Oh, because she tweets that.
Yeah. And I in my head, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I would love to settle an argument with a dance off. But I don't actually think that I would.
Yeah.
I think that's a thing
The
that
fantasy of living with
Yeah.
Zooey Deschanel.
in movies, if in a scene, if we had to settle something by a dance off, brilliant. But in my day-to-day life, if we had to settle whether we were going to get fucking Thai or Japanese for dinner, and we had to fucking have a dance off every time we had to make a decision that we had to settle,
Yeah.
I'd get bored of that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, really? Do we have to fucking dance again? Can we just not fucking pick one? Can we flip a coin? Something?
So what you're trying to say is your fantasy relationship with Zooey Deschanel has already run into
It's
problems.
crumbled. It's crumbled. The things that I loved about her initially are now really starting to shoot me up the wall. We can't fucking eat anywhere because she's vegan. Oh, and she's like gluten intolerant or something as well. You might as well just fucking eat dirt and breathe. Like, seriously, Zooey. And like...
You're losing me.
Yeah, and there's all this fucking dance off. Where do you get the energy? All you eat is
Well, I
dirt.
thought it was funny and cute at the start. Now it's just annoying.
Yeah. And I didn't realise that was your sister in Bones. I didn't know.
I thought your sister was Katy Perry.
Yeah.
That would really shit her. You should just tweet her constantly, but like somehow hashtag it with Katy Perry or hashtag it with like loved your latest album or something like
Katy
that.
Perry. It's always good to take a public forum to make a joke at the expense of somebody that you quite admire.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a misuse of Twitter. And this has been a misuse of a podcast. But we hope you've enjoyed it. TOFOP.com for all
If you're from another country, send us an email. Tell us where you're from.
Go to TOFOP. If you can understand the words that are coming out of our mouths.
Send us an electronic mail.
And we'll be back with some more TOFOP bullshit next week. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.